There was a group of 4 guys, and we started a kind of a quasi fund called Venture at Astro. One of the investments that we invested in was a company called Immersive Media. And Immersive Media had this cool technology, albeit in a very early stage, where it could capture video in 360 degrees, which now seems, like, oh, so what? But this is 2003, before anybody had done it. And the cool thing is, so we invested in this company, we were infatuated with the technology, but there was no market. What are you going to do with immersive video? No one even conceived what it meant. So we were stuck with trying to define the problem. Error number one, there was no immediate market. We weren't solving anybody's problem. So causes you to think outside the box, right? And I mean, we used to call it the Bourbon and Cigar Club, right? We'd sit around and try and think of problems to solve, particularly with this issue. And someone had the crazy idea, I don't remember who it was, why don't we stick a camera on every postal truck or UPS truck in America and video map the whole United States. We thought, well, that's cool, it'd be a fun project. But who's audacious enough, who's big enough to do that, to be the fiscal sponsor? And someone said Google. And so the team went to Google, and Google Maps, Google Street View was born. A pitch is a crucial part of starting a business because it forces you to distill the business and your thoughts. And it's easy to be verbose, to talk a lot and to lose what you're trying to accomplish in a lot of words or actions. So I think really a well-defined pitch, whether it's an elevator pitch or a 10-slide pitch deck or an executive summary, even if you're never going to raise money, I'd say do it, because the ability to take the complex, which starting a business is, and reduce it to the concise is a art and skill that separates the good, or separates the great from the good. If you can explain your complex business and do it, simply and easily that people can understand, that's magic. And it reminds me of a great quote, one of my favorite quotes from Mark Twain, that said, he said, "I would have written a shorter letter, but I hadn't the time." Sequoia Capital, one of the all-stars, VC firms, has a standardized pitch deck. It's 10, maybe 12 slides now. But it is the de facto standard. I mean, it addresses all the high points. But again, it's concise, it's formulaic, so the investors know what to expect. They're not trying to decipher what the heck you're trying to talk about. They know, what's your purpose, what's the problem, what's your solution, what's your product, who are the competition, who's the team. I mean, it's the standard stuff every time. So that's magical. And what else makes a good pitch is being brief and knowing your metrics. I mean, know what your metrics of success are and talk to those. It's the ability to convey your dream and how that dream fits into reality, i.e. the markets, and how I'm going to make money as an investor. And I've seen that done exceedingly well with a pen on the back of a piece of paper, and I've seen it done exceedingly poorly with exploding pie charts, animated PowerPoints, and video clips. So it's more about your personal passion, conviction, commitment, and expertise, and that of the teams than any high-dollar graphics program you're using. If you do nothing else, clearly explain what the problem is, how what you're doing is providing a solution that people are willing to hand over their hard-earned money for, and lots of it. And the other thing that's important is to explain for the investor's benefit, is what your exit is. And that's nothing more than, how are you going to take the money I give you, use it, and in what vehicle, how am I going to get paid back? Give me some idea of where the liquidity is going to come from, and at what multiple. To be prepared for making your pitch, you really should be able to answer the test of if I wake you up at 2 a.m. out of bed and say, give me your metrics, you should be able to answer. And those are different for everyone, for every business. It could be gross margin, it could be revenue, it could be number of subscribers, number of users, mitigation of latency or whatever. But you should know them. You should know where you are against your peers. You should know where you are against your goals. So that's the key. You're going to be pitching smart people, right? And no matter how much research you've done, or no matter how much expertise you have, you should be aware enough to be learning something during the pitch. And when I say shift happens is if you hear something from an investor or a strategic investor or financial investor, industry expert, be prepared, be able to shift, to move a little bit. And so if the pitch isn't going well and you hear some kernel of wisdom or opportunity, be ready to move. And I pitched a couple strategic investors. I think it was like the third or fourth pitch. And it was just over 2 days. They were maybe third pitch. Yeah, I had one the previous day and then two that day. And I went to pitch him. It was going well. We were seated at a table, CEO of a company, and we had a nice pitch. I thought it went well. We kind of finished up with a little chit chat and social. And I said, okay, I've got to go. I'd like to hear from you by the end of the week. He said, where are you going? I said, well, give me a shot. He says, don't you want the check? So that, and I haven't made that mistake again. Ask for the check, be ready. The counsel I give almost every entrepreneur I run into is hold off as long as you can. Don't do it, because the perception is equity's cheap. Hey, I sold part of my company, I raised $500,000. You don't have any debt, but you gave up part of your company, you gave up part of your autonomy, part of your future profitability, maybe even part of your control, which can turn around and haunt you later. So my advice always is hold off as long as you can, because the further you advance the ball and develop your company, the less equity you're going to have to give up. Now, the other flip side of that is, I say take an investor and take capital if it does two things. If it accelerates the time schedule, brings you to a point of profitability sooner, or to market sooner, or development sooner, and if it increases the likelihood of success. Finding an angel or finding an investor always starts with friends and family. They're the people who know you best, who are willing to support you. If you're looking for an institutional style investor, someone who's more professional, someone who does what I do, if you talk to other entrepreneurs in the community, they're going to know who's an active angel. I've had the luxury of seeing a lot of pitches and entrepreneurs from Western Alaska, or rural Alaska, all the way down to the hot spot, the hub, the Bay Area, Palo Alto, Mountain View, Google's campus, NASA Ames. I mean, I see a lot of stuff, and the reality is everyone's going through the same messy process. They're no better off. I think I mentioned earlier, it's important to be happy or be positive, and I think, I say you need to be evangelical, and you need to convert your customers to become evangelical. You want people saying, like when iPhone came out, the early adopters were like, hey, check out my iPhone, this is awesome. And they were like, you want to play with it? And if you can create that kind of buzz, that kind of passion in people, whether it's your team or your customers or your customers, I mean, that's a win. There was a fellow that I remember, he gave a speech 20 years ago, and it was if you want to build great boats. You don't teach your team carpentry. You inspire them to go to the sea. Inspire them to be sailors. And I think that's it. You make people dream big thoughts, and hopefully convince them that you can help them realize their dreams, and both team and customers.